I thought this was appropriate subject matter. If you guys could put away your books and your notepads and just try and pay attention to the video, I'd really appreciate that.
Right, students, take a seat. My name is Professor Lando, and in today's lecture, we're going to be talking about horse girls. But what do we mean by that? Well, let's break this down so you have a firm grasp of what we're talking about.
My fat head is... You're a freaking fat head. All right, hold on. Jerk.
Start with some examples. Recently, we've seen the rise in popularity of a piece of media called Uma Musume.
Right, the horse girls.
A series and game wherein real-life racehorses are personified as humanoid anime girls who still race like a racehorse, but they also sing and dance as well. And
just for reference, if anybody's curious where the coursework is from, this professor studied at Ligma University.
Interestingly enough, this is not the first time in human history where a fictionalized piece of media depicting horse girls has become immensely popular with the public. Of course, I'm talking about My Little Pony Friendship is...
Never mind, we're changing the video. Yeah, we're gonna find another subject to talk about. This one with Satan, for example. Yeah, I think this one with Satan will probably be more entertaining. Yeah, we'll head in that direction instead.
Magic, which is a cartoon franchise featuring talking horse girls or horse-like creatures like unicorns that, although initially marketed towards children, has found itself uniquely popular with an adult audience who vary in their degree of suspicious
Gooners. All of them.
Intent. And it should be noted that these individual adults who find themselves particularly interested in My Little Pony are often referred to by others and themselves as bronies. Now, the enthusiasm for horse girls in such a manner is so widespread that there is even unique vocabulary that has found its way into the lexicon of the everyday man associated with desire of horse girls. And that word
Is there really no audio?
is clopping, which is a verb that refers to pleasuring oneself or otherwise engaging in an indulgent way to media.
That's weird. Yeah, it's actually up pretty high. All right, hold up.
Of My Little Pony. And it should be noted that the word clopping comes from the lexicon of the everyday man associated with desire of horse girls. And that word is clopping, which is a verb that refers to pleasuring oneself or otherwise engaging in an indulgent way to media of My Little Pony.
All right, so if everybody's caught up, this will be on the test. That is correct. Clopping. This is when you jerk off to My Little Pony. This is a term. It's a verb.
And it should be noted that the word clopping comes from the onomatopoeia of a horse's hooves, clopping. And
I'm glad he did the visual representation. It's just pleasuring oneself. It doesn't have to be... I mean, I use that term for every... Like, flicking the bean, too, okay? It's the same thing.
the fact that this has found its way into the vernacular of the people really highlights how much this enthusiasm is widespread and is in fact not a one-off niche thing on the internet. And surprisingly, this is not the last example of fictionalized horse girls being popular in modern times.
Where did I find this video? None of your damn business. None of your damn... Yeah, yeah, never mind where I found this video.
Very recently, there was an online obsession with something called the horse race tests, which were a series of race simulations ran on twitter.com featuring these blob-like characters that represented horses. And in line with the premise of this lecture, people online fell absolutely in love and became obsessed with these blob characters. Now, before we delve deeper,
I was not aware of those.
Wondering, Professor Orlando, those examples you went over are very different kinds of horse girls, and you might not be sure what counts as a horse girl
nice.
and what doesn't.
I'm really looking forward to that game. I hope it's really good.
Visual scale for reference. So here we have a visual representation of the horse girl scale. which you can reference to determine what kind of horse girl you might be encountering.
Okay, so that makes sense. Now I got this, right? Because over here you have like the full-on pony, right? Then you have the My Little Pony, right? This is like your Fluttershy's and what have you. And then in the middle we have the centaur, which is literally half a pony and half a chick. Then this is of course a pony chick, which is, you know, basically it's got the tits and ass of a chick, but a ponytail and ears, right? It's your standard VTuber assortment. And then you have a full-on human. I like this. Yeah, this is the range.
So here on the far end we have a horse that is just a literal horse, an animal. Moving on, we have My Little Pony, which is, for all extensive purposes, physically a horse or some sort of horse-like creature, but with human intelligence or otherwise some intangible human traits. And then moving forward even more, we have something along the lines of a 50-50 split, represented by a centaur, which is, of course, most of you would know, half human, half horse, and commonly the horse part being the bottom part, and the human part being the top. And
that's by design. And it is obvious.
Then we have horse girls like the Uma Musume characters that are pretty much just human, with some very minor horse-like physical qualities like the ears and the tail, with most of the horse-like traits being intangible ones like their origins and their actions like horse racing. And then on the far end of the opposite side, you have something that is not a horse. This is human. And so what we have here is a scaling representation of horse girls and their varying degrees of horsiness. And in tandem with this visual horse girl scale, we can overlay a different scale to come to a conclusion about something very important in this classroom. So what we are going to overlay on top of the horse girl visual scale is the scale of ascending goon ethicality, where you have here on the far end unacceptable goonage being acceptable from the mainstream public at the very least. And as we move along, the ethicality and acceptance of the goonage taking place increases to the far end over here, which would be acceptable. So as you can see, as we move forward with horses being largely unacceptable, I believe illegal actually, as we move forward into the fictional realm. And
it just means horse. It literally just means horse. It's the Japanese word for horse, I think.
And varying degrees of horsage being added to the character, we have increasing acceptance or...
Okay, so by this standard, the more human they appear, the more ethical it is for me to goon to them. Duly noted. Okay.
At the very least, ethicality of goonage. Most scholars would agree that the previous model is a little outdated for the purpose of analyzing the distribution of horse girl-ness. And in recent times, we've developed a new diagram to help properly describe the distribution.
Oh, okay. So they've changed the diagram. This was older. Okay, so we're gonna see the new diagram now.
Diagram here on the far end, we are gonna have horses, and on the opposite side of the spectrum, we're gonna have humans. Now, the previous diagram assumes a linear distribution when it comes to horse to human ratio, but like I said, the nuance here proves to be a more complex model. So when you have horses here and you think of, at the very least, the physical qualities of something like My Little Pony, the overlap of physical qualities of My Little Pony characters and literal horses is going to be much closer to one another than things on the opposite end of the spectrum, like Uma Musume, which is going to be much more similar to a human than it is going to be close to My Little Pony or literal horses. And in the middle, and similar to the previous diagram, we're going to have a category that much better overlaps as many horse girl categories as possible, and we believe that this diagram is the best representation for it. Of course, we are talking about centaurs, which have a little bit of everything. Did I spell that right?
Oh.
No, I did not. A-U. Centaurs, which is going to overlap a little bit with...
So gooning to centaurs is totally fine. I think that's the moral of the story.
My Little Pony overlap a little bit with actual horses, and definitely leans into more human qualities, of course, being centaur half and half, and sharing a little bit of the traits of something like Uma Musume character.
Wait, what did he draw on this board of his here? What's he, I think it's got the horse tip on it, too.
And again, that is going to be centaurs right there. In short, people really like horse girls. And for some reason or another, our civilization seems to be drawn to depicting these horses in media like Uma Musume, My Little Pony, and the horse race tests, not to mention the slew of lesser horse girl media out there. Now the question is, why? As we've touched on, people largely enjoy horse girls as a form of entertainment, but there are those that enjoy it in a more academic and explicit manner. And some of you new students here in the classroom might be wondering, Professor Lando, there's no way that people enjoy horse girls in such a way. And to answer this and lay the foundation of our lecture here today, I went to the archival department here at the Ligma University to get something. Let me show you this.
Now, that is a preposterous and debaucherous misrepresentation of Gooning. Okay, Gooning is an art form. It's an acquired skill. It takes years of honing to master the craft.
So these are the search results on a particular archival website for My Little Pony. And as you can see here, there are exactly 257,518 results as of the recording of this lecture for My Little Pony, particularly. So it goes without saying that My Little Pony, just a small subsection of horse girls, is quite popular. And I think we can come to the conclusion that horse girls in general are viewed in such a light.
I don't think it's... I'm sorry. I think it's fucked up to categorize My Little Pony and horse girls in any way, shape, and form together as the same thing. I'm just gonna be honest. I think gooning to My Little Pony is fucking weird. Alright, that is some bestiality shit. Alright, but gooning to a chick with frickin' horse ears, I mean, that's about as normal as as it comes. Like, what are we really talking about here?
So the question is, why? Why horse girls specifically? After all,
yeah,
there are plenty of
totally
animal-like humanoid characters like cat girls, as well as...
Except for maybe a girl without horse ears? Oh, fuck, what is it, 1993? Come on now. What are we doing?
Dog girls. And with these archetypes of characters, yes, people do find them particularly enticing to varying degrees, but we do not see the same level of enthusiasm we see with horse girls. I
had to pause the video so the train could go by real quick. Hold on. Are we good here? Oh, for fuck's sakes, hold on, let me mute it. Okay, there we go.
You know, there is no cat-girl Fantasia video game that everyone is playing and posting about on Twitter. There is no dog-girl wolves galore.
Wait, say again? Say again? Hold up, what was that?
But we do not see the same level of enthusiasm we see with horse girls. You know, there is no cat-girl Fantasia video game that everyone is playing and posting about on Twitter. There is no
cat girl Fantasia video game that everybody is posting about it. I guarantee I could find a fucking cat girl video game that's being posted about on Twitter right now.
Dog girl wolves galore.
Now, dog girls are a lot more... Yeah, I'll give them that one. But Gia Brat's cute too. There's actually a game called Cat Girl on Twitter. Well, there we go. Fucking debunked.
Cartoon show that people have been watching for the past years and years and years. No, that is reserved for horse girls particularly. So I want to answer...
I only know one dog girl, but I know 3 dog boys. Never mind.
To the question, why? What is it about horse girls particularly that grips the audiences so? Students, if you're anything like me, you have a lot of academic research to do throughout your day, a lot of hard work, educating the masses, of course, and I often find myself tired, needing a little boost, and something to quench my thirst.
Are we about to segue into a fucking Gamer Subs advertisement? Is that what's...
Well, today's sponsor is Gamer Sub.
Alright, it is what it is. No, I haven't. I've never seen this video before. Otherwise, this part would be lit up, right? Because I've seen it before.
Throughout history, we have used horses in a multitude of ways to enhance our lives as a society. And I believe that this has been ingrained in our DNA, into our
Nothing
genes,
incognito can't fix. Yeah, but I have my...
More than pets or
Wait, what is...
companions, horses have become associated with...
You guys want to watch this
survival.
next?
And this is what has compelled us, even in modern times, to be so obsessed with horse girls. And so we can extrapolate this data to come to a conclusion about why horse girls are more popular than other animal pseudo-humanoid characters like cat girls and
yeah,
dog
my feed's
girls.
boring right now. There's no like ear licking or
Okay, so here
any
we
like
have a diagram
any
of the
random
amount
weird
of
stuff.
desire that people have for the anthro character of the respective animals, being cat girl.
I'm not gonna lie, I zoned out like a minute ago, and I came back, and there's a whole ass fucking bar graph on. Or what happened? Wait, no, I do get this, but how are dogs higher than cats in usefulness on the anthro character desirometer?
Girls, dog girls, cow girls, and of course horse girls. And over here we have...
I do get how cowgirls are the third most, or the second most useful, right? Because they've got mommy milkers, right? You know, you can like, that's definitely true. So horses, though, is it like that you can like ride them places? Have I watched a commentary on the goat story with nail titties? What? So like, do you just like, I don't understand why horse girls are more useful than cowgirls. I'm sorry, I think cowgirl deserves to be on the top of this. Like, you know, you're trying to have your cereal in the morning and shit? Done. Like, how freaking practical is that? They're talking about the usefulness as an animal. Exactly. Exactly. What can a cow? What can a horse do that a cow can't do? That's like 3 miles an hour or whatever. Carry you. A cow could do that. You can ride a cow. I think. All right, we're finding out. Hold up. Could a grown adult ride a cow long distances? Oxen were ridden. Yeah, see, people used to ride cows. It was a normal thing. People used to ride oxen and stuff. People rode oxen for short scouting, herding. Oxen were preferred for their strength and calm nature over horses. Cow trekking. Is a totally normal thing. It was. There we go.
Have usefulness, as in at the bottom being not particularly useful as an animal, and here at the...
I mean, technically you can also milk a cat. I'm just saying. I think cats might actually be higher on the usefulness meter than dogs are.
top being extremely useful to humans, So let's start here at the bottom. I think it's a common understanding that dogs are historically more useful than cats. They have
Nope. False. I don't know what my cats do, but I have to defend them, or they'll never let me sleep again.
served as service animals as well as hunted alongside humans for hundreds of years. And the conclusion we can draw is that dog girls are markedly more desirable than cat girls, although the margin is close.
Are dog girls more desirable than cat girls? Yeah, 100%. All right, he's right there. He's true. Big true. All right, we'll give him this one.
Look at popular media to come to this conclusion. There are a plethora of dog-like characters, like the wolf guy from Zenless Zone Zero, Blythe from Elden Ring.
Dog girls, not dong girls. That's this video over here. That's this one. Yeah, we haven't got to that one yet.
The wolf from Bad Guys. There are plenty of examples of canine-like characters that are consistently popular in modern media. So moving on, we have cows and cowgirls. I think it goes without saying that cows are immensely more useful than dogs and, of course, cats. We eat them as food product, eating their steak, their meat, and drinking their sweet, delicious milk. And we've also used them as beasts of burden. They've pulled our wagons and farming equipment for generations. And due to this immense usefulness, we see very often the marks, the traits of cows and cowgirls being very popular and enticing in modern media. Of course, I am talking about the infamous cowkini. The visage of a cowgirl has been almost associated with lustfulness and a sense of almost primal desire. And not only that,
That's all about the titties, though. Every single cowgirl VTuber has gigantic fucking titties. The whole cowgirl thing, it's all about the tits. That's all it is. Like, there's not a single person that is a cowgirl fan that is a butt person. These two things are not like the two circles. There's no overlap there. No, if you are a cowgirl fan, you're a boob advocate. This is just the facts. I'm just telling them like it is.
Association of desire and lust and cowgirls goes so hand in hand that we've created a euphemism for an explicit act called milking. Milking, or the act of being milked, as a euphemism, is an incredibly popular joke and practice in modern times as well. And so you might be thinking, Professor Lando, it seems cows are incredibly useful and that desire for cows is extremely high. What makes horses even more desirable than cows? And while that might seem true at first glance, people often overlook one key trait about horse girls that sets them apart from the rest.
Okay.
And that trait is that horse girls have big, huge hearts. They are very loving creatures. Horses have served as loyal companions for all of human history, and they have such big hearts.
Is this a dick joke? Does he like wieners? Is that why he put horse girls up top? So he's like, they have big hearts, wink, wink, or like, I don't.
And of course, thank you to our Patreon supporters and to these students here in detention for supporting me in my studies here at Ligma University. If you want to learn more, be sure to check out some more of my lectures and videos. Thank you very much.
Yeah, don't milk Shadow, okay? I'm pretty sure he would not. The dangerous rise of armpits. How deep down the Gooner hole do we go today?